Well, hey, everybody. I'm Travis Roberts here, Director of Marketing and Community Engagement at Southwest. We have Randy Rose. He's the Dean of Workforce and Continuing Education at Southwest. How's it going, Randy?
Going well. Just doing the best we can with teleworking. How are you, Travis?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I know you can see he's at home. I'm at home. We're all working from home. But the big message that I know Randy wants to tell you, and that we're telling you as an institution at Southwest, we are open. We are not closed. We're doing things a little differently. And today we're going to talk about how workforce is doing things a little bit differently. But before we get started, I want to show you a quick commercial about some of our fast forward programs and some things that workforce is doing.
We live in an amazing place, Southwest Virginia. Good jobs are available now in high-demand industry sectors. To support these industries, Southwest Virginia Community College has fast-track training to careers taught by professionals with experience. Our training is affordable and often free to those who qualify through Virginia's Fast Forward and other programs. Get fast-track training to a new job or career at Southwest Virginia Community College.
Randy, that right there talks about fast forward, things moving quick, getting that degree, getting that training that you need in a short amount of time. And you and I have talked about it. A lot of folks may not know what workforce is. Maybe talk a little bit about workforce in detail. And not only that, how workforce is happening now and how you're holding these classes with the COVID-19 really happening across our area.
Yeah, there's a number of careers and sectors that are what we call in demand, jobs that are available now and opportunities to grow or progress in current careers. And while everyone knows about our academic programs and degree programs at Southwest, we have programs that are fast tracked. You can finish in weeks instead of months or years in some cases. These are from welding to or information technology jobs and training that we do. So there's a variety of training that we do, and it is fast track. In many cases, there's no SAT required, prerequisites, or any pre-testing. And the majority of these are really focused on getting people the skills they need as soon as possible so they can upskill on a current job or be positioned to where they can be seriously considered for a career or a job that they wouldn't have been otherwise. And it's something that we do well at Southwest Virginia Community College. As far as the current situation we're in, needless to say, it's made an impact on our world. We all see it day in and day out. You and I are sitting here at home doing this, but you're right. Our team shifted pretty quickly to teleworking. So while there are little things behind the scenes, we've done our best to make sure this doesn't, if at all possible, not impact what we do and we offer. I will say, needless to say, a lot of our training does have to happen on campus or in a place one-on-one with a trainer or with equipment. And what we've done is our best to minimize the impact on that. Some of those classes had to be paused, but we'll get those running up as soon as possible again. But we've also looked at other ways to deliver that, just like we're seeing campus-wide, where we can shift those to online and continue those classes or introduce new classes. We're doing that, and you'll see more and more of that going forward in the future. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can stay in tune with that in the future. But probably most importantly, if you're sitting home working or laid off, or you just have some time to really look at some other careers or training that you may need, we have online courses available now on an ongoing basis. We have had at Southwest Virginia Community College, and these are fast track that you can do at your own pace as well. So there's still many options out there, and we just want everyone to know that they're still there and there's still opportunities. Even while you're here or at your home and you may not be at a job, if you want to look at that, we have online options available, and we have people who can help with that. So that's the quick, I guess, intro about what we do. There's so many things I could cover, but what I will say is that looking at our website, and we'll talk about that later, will be a good opportunity. But we have people who can talk you through where you're at with your career, a team that can help with that, counselors or advisors that can help.
You and I were talking before we started today about, there are a lot of folks out there who are looking for jobs. They're unemployed now because, well, it could be because of COVID-19 and may not be directly because of that. But either way, there are probably folks out there who are looking for jobs. What could you share today that might be helpful to someone who's maybe they found themselves laid off or unemployed because of this pandemic?
Yeah, and that's an important point, Travis. While we definitely are interested in talking to anyone like that about any transitions or interests they have with their career or training, and that's definitely what we focus on and what we do well with the workforce and continuing education program. What I will say is, most importantly, I would want those individuals to make sure they've consulted with the appropriate folks through the Virginia Employment Commission, or what we call Virginia Career Works. There's a location in Richland that is the center, and everyone, probably a lot of people know about that location. That center is now virtual. They have team members just like we are that are working from home, but they're responding to requests and assisting day in and day out. So they are still running and open for business just like we are. So I'm a search engine guy, so I'll just say you can search Virginia Career Works and you'll see the website probably pop up at the top results, but I'll just give the address. It's vawc.virginia.gov. And that's, I'll give you also, if you're a person who has limited internet access, but you still can get a phone call out, 276-963-2660. So really, that's the starting point. Definitely you need to make that the starting point. And those individuals, those team members, we work closely with them. You can also have that conversation with them about where you're at. If you're at a place where it doesn't look like you're going to be returning to work soon or at all, and you want to look at some training, and some of the training that I've highlighted, for example, they'll connect you with us. We're a workforce system and partnership in Virginia, and we try to work as closely as possible and seamlessly as possible. And so that would really be the call to action. Needless to say, everyone's following the news. There are things changing daily and more opportunities, hopefully, to assist anyone that's impacted. So it is happening real time. But the first step would be to do that outreach, fill out the form for unemployment, let them know that you're interested in learning about any resources that you're interested in, and let them guide you appropriately. And then secondary, of course, if you want to go ahead and have that conversation with us about what's possible for you to upskill or train, or the fast track training, or even our academic programs, please reach out to us and we'll talk about that before we end the conversation.
Thanks for that, Randy. And if you're just joining us, we're talking with Randy Rose. He's the Dean of Workforce and Continuing Education at Southwest. A lot of things happening with workforce. There's always a lot of things happening, different types of classes, from carpentry to plumbing to hands-on things. I mean, just a ton of stuff. And Randy's hit on some of that. But, Randy, when people think of Southwest, they think of going to college. They think of a traditional college education. They think of taking classes, whether they're online or not. But there may be some students out there today that are watching. They don't have plans for college. They're maybe their grandparents that are watching, parents that are watching, their grandkids or their kids may not have plans to go to college. What would you like to share with maybe those students or those grandparents or parents today about discussing their future or their career, maybe how workforce could give some direction?
Yeah, I think it is a good time to have that conversation. I'm spending more time with my family than I would have otherwise, and I've been able to have that discussion with my teenage stepdaughter, who's looking at her career pathway and what that may look like in a few years. So it's a really good time, and we're happy if you're a student or a parent, your child is going to be on that degree pathway. We're happy about that, and we hope you considered Southwest Virginia Community College for that. But if you're undecided, as you kind of touched on, Travis, what we want to relay is that we have some tools and team members that may be able to help you with that process. We have a career services unit that can talk you through what careers may work for you and may be of interest to you based on your interest and your abilities and things of that nature. We also have that training that we've talked about. For example, instead of dedicating the time and potentially some tuition to a 4-year degree program and maybe not be happy with that pathway after that 4 years, we would rather offer you an option to look at maybe testing the waters at a career pathway. So why not take a class that finishes in weeks or in a couple of months and then determine if that's what you want to do longer term at a lower cost or maybe even free tuition depending on that pathway. So that's something we want you to know, that we're also positioned at Southwest. if you're not there yet at making a decision for your career, and I fully understand that. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do at 18 years old when I graduated. I probably should have taken advantage of things like faster track training if it was available. So I encourage you to look at that. It's definitely something you can do fairly fast. And as I said, tuition assistance available for most programs. And we have advisors and we have coordinators that can help with that. So just know that we'll talk it through, and you just don't have to make any major commitments, just initial conversations, but we want to do that. And something that I'm particularly excited about, if I was a senior graduating and I had not made a decision, there still seems to be some type of urgency. Where you're at right now, most classes have ended early and you're finishing up electronically. You're going to take probably a break in the summer. Hopefully all of this is over and our students will get that break and have some fun in the summer. But it seems like in the fall, it's time to make a decision to do something. At least that's how I felt. And I think a lot of the students that I've worked with have felt like. So just like your friends who may be going to a 4-year or 2-year university or coming to Southwest Virginia Community College, you could actually come to our college as well as one of our fast track students and actually take one of these fast track pathways to training. And what we're really excited about is we have a program that we call Career in a Semester that we're going to roll out in the fall. If those students that have not decided yet or would like to have a fast track pathway to a career will dedicate about a semester, the same time that their friends will dedicate in the fall. We hope to position them through the training that is focused on whatever sector they're interested in or profession they're interested in. We're going to actually give them some additional training that we're designing based on what employers are telling us they want to see in employees in this area. So training that will help them learn to be the highest potential or maximizing their potential as an employee. Just a lot of training that they've asked for from employees, or from their employees or from star employees. So we're going to give them that additional training, and when possible, and in most cases, we're going to actually introduce them to employers who are interested in hiring individuals like that at the end of that semester. So to sum it up, just like your friends, you'll be starting in college in the fall, but by the end of the first semester, by the time your friends are taking their first exam, you'll actually be completing this Career in a Semester program. You'll be better positioned to apply for the jobs that you may be interested in, or it may help you decide that you want to go further into a program, actually do a degree program in that pathway because you've actually tested the waters without making a long-term commitment. And again, if you're interested, we'll do our best to introduce you to employers too if you're ready to get in a job quickly. So I think we're excited about what we do because it does allow you that really quick pathway to a job, or just to see if that's something you want to do longer term. And then the other thing that I want to mention is we know that a lot of our students have been very successful in training at career and technical centers, and that's great. So, but we also know that there's a limited amount of time they can do that training when they're in high school. So we want to offer them other opportunities. They want to stack credentials and add experience or training. We want to help with that as well. So those are some of the things that we can do. If I'm a parent listening and I have an undecided child, I definitely would ask them to take a serious look at this. There are some great jobs and good paying jobs available in a lot of the sectors that we train in. So we would love to have that conversation with the parents or the grandparents, guardians, and of course the students. And that's really what we would like to do. So if I'm here listening today, and one takeaway is at least give us a call and let's talk through some options. We definitely want to help if you have not decided on what your education or career pathway looks like. And if you have decided, we want to assist with that as well.
Let's wrap up with I would say what folks can do next. And I will say this again, if you're just joining us, we're talking with Randy Rose. He's the Dean of Workforce and Continuing Education at Southwest. If you are watching today, maybe you're considering coming to Southwest, I will tell you we're still open. We're still answering the phones. The phones get forwarded to folks who are ready to help you. Whether you're interested in just a traditional education at Southwest, or maybe you're looking to go into workforce. Randy, talk about maybe right now how you guys are talking to folks and getting them placed in these types of programs now that we are working remotely.
Yeah, we're doing that a variety of ways. We definitely want to be flexible. our advisor, who is really focused on the fast track programs and students, is available. She's working daily, just like I am. So what I would suggest, that whatever works for you, we want to have that, start that communication with you. If you want to call directly, it's 276-964-7534, and that'll start you off. You can also send us an email at workforce@sw.edu, and that's workforce@sw.edu. And if you just want to look, if you're like me and you like to kind of check and see what's on the web first and see what options there are, I would encourage you to go to our primary website, sw.edu. We have a workforce tab there. That's where you can go to see what we offer, and in particular those courses that we have online, from learning how to become a real estate agent to if you want to do CompTIA, information technology training, or if you just want to spend some time fleshing out a hobby that you have, photography or whatever. There's some online courses there that you could look at as well. And of course, if you reach out to us via email or via our phone number, we can help you with registration on that, and look at any potential funding assistance or tuition assistance is available for those. So definitely take a look at what we have online, and we're here to talk through any options or any questions that you have. We'd love to hear from you, and I think it's a really good time to do this. We're all kind of challenged with this new situation we've been dealing with for the last few weeks, and maybe with the weeks to come. But I'm personally trying to use this as a way to look at some things for my future and my family's future, and I think it's a good time, and we'd like to have that conversation if you're doing that as well.
Absolutely. Well, Randy, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for talking to folks at home. I think it was a lot of helpful information. And again, if you have any questions, give us a call, sw.edu. All the information is there. And again, if you want to know what's going on with the COVID-19 and how Southwest is handling things and where we are today, we keep that updated. It's just right at the top, a big red bar. You can't miss it. Thanks for joining us again, Randy. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Travis.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.